meti bulonti kuma da mi wewe tala ramu chuti tala gan bi chuti tala meti bulonti kuma da mi wewe tala ramu chuti tala gan bi chuti tala meti bulonti salama de long salama de gwa masala no mrong changa baku tala ramu chuti we da bagwa tala ramu do changa ramate re da kamol be wanira bloy da bete baga donato bo we jal kel kuma da mi wewe tala ramu chuti tala gan mi chuti tala meti bulonti kuma da mi wewe tala ramu chuti tala gan mi chuti tala meti bulonti kuma da mi wewe tala ramu chuti tala gan mi chuti tala meti bulonti mana tin bum tin chet ka ha tin chalo jen boy gadar nakken Nuer e pui no can take the cane and you chara bika wow we balad dul wal dul gora ba chuta mana tin bum bika we gang tala rambe kwal tala chima ba kapin tala reme ba was pink areda mana tin bum bika we gang kami de we bika twonkel ba we gwi kami den kuma da mi wewe tala rambe chuti tala gan mi chuti tala meti bulonti kuma da mi wewe tala rambe chuti tala gan mi chuti tala meti bulonti kuma da mi wewe tala rambe chuti tala gan mi chuti tala meti bulonti was a benedi kakak bakapur betin and yam or barret batia bapis kuma da bakang no engineer con doctor con teacher con we gwandan bana let kill telerami ba banjo telerami bi dojo bana tinyam kondial bana tinyam weida kondial bana chulle kill kuma da mi wewe telerami chuti telagan mi chuti tela meti bulonti kuma da mi wewe telerami chuti telagan mi chuti tela meti bulonti kuma da mi wewe telerami chuti telagan mi chuti tela meti bulonti buranya kun nyalan chengo telerambi ba mage chonde telerambi ba mage chonde telerambi nyurba buranya kun nyalan chengo ebi jagja kapal e rejeme chabi pare chari yama bana chunyura kel bloy dan chu teskel ke ore yame bega kunyal telerambi nyurbang telerambi chuy ti dial biga chutetin kuma da mi wewe telerambi chuti telagan mi chuti telameti bulonti kuma da mi wewe telerambi chuti telagan mi chuti telameti bulonti kuma da mi wewe telerambi chuti telagan mi chuti telameti bulonti Bia Kamal Gwas America Nuer online TV channel and Manduni Shankos Nyamlia no Ruashni Bana Läär Bana Kilinkiri Pontin Kontil Rodian Kaliang Tilat Korodiere Wichak South Sudan Tikon Gatung Wana Bukon Kaling Kajan report me to go liang to very important Tikon ki important message to Bana Nwakel Shirmangai Konano we South Sudan Kajan Gwas Metere Kori Kenyam bana right check atin content lat Karodian kore kon keri pon to wan de kon kaling to Lorodian kaliang broad issue kabeka bana katin kon dong de ran de lingwa semene Jowan yaman bagur ba nywa ye kele report kana me bana right ka kwi kirma yadi teno take ram kel mi cha George
Rami Momila MP she Kir Mayadit she MP che George Ray Kwerede bana kulu we katin ko ken shet ke roi ne kuri ken tin diala ko ken ko lat ko rodian but Kenya a chana focus ke lat ko rodian tinin tama take it by to talk chen mandana ngai ko na la talk and also Sudan tere kor chen mai ona Kir Mayadit che goro te mal medeben Ray which ka South Sudan gori je longo no der ne diala content kwa dakma char kwa je support there ke dismantle ki there ke George do ban je link je report me bro kabaka ka jo machalat gwa se mo wa Kir your opposition MPs che George wa che surprise move che lat no ke Jordan chalat ke je South Sudan President Salva Kiir Mayadit Ramadan la leading ka ruling SPLM Ramadan and la Kwer chala no take ne ti dismiss ka che ne ko kien che ka point che ne to well bakel the la members ka transitional government la transitional national legislative assembly wa che ka kwan ka che ka ger ke che ka wo ka republican decree ka jo chala gwaseme kanide konen che watch de mangai kone to opposition SPLM ayo ticketin ne de content under the transitional power sharing arrangement ne da ne shala che kan dial che ka jo che mangai kone. But right now here, kajomo chalat guaseme dio jeje kona ngach no Kir shene meche jede lat ko ramimo en me dan isha tan tinaga power sharing ndo dan der na der galo ju keje so gay winen tan wan why we Kir Mayadit we na ju keje mon ado be dien ju Kir na ga all this question katin to go roba baga kwen ko biya ka linka ta danan shiga ben keje back on Queen Kenam course be ling ka talk English ba ko nyoko Queen je nyok ka talk nat do dan de understand ka je ki de yen linga je no so ban je linkel she Kir Mayadit gwaseme man chalat alajan South Sudan President Salva Kiir Mayadit who also lead the ruling SPLM has dismissed and appointed 11 members of the Transitional National Legislative Assembly or dismiss and appointed 11 members of the Transitional National Legislative Assembly in Republican decree affecting a position allocated to the opposition SPLM-IU under the Transitional Power Sharing Arrangement. The revocation and appointment were made on January 7 under Article 106A 2A of the Transitional Constitution and Section 38(1) of the Interpretation of Law and General Provision Act of 2006. The country bicameral legislature has 650 members, including 550 in the lower house, the Transitional National Legislative Assembly, and 100 in the upper house, the Council of State. Under the term of the 2018 Rift Valley Peace Agreement, the national legislature include representatives from the ruling SPLM party, opposition group including SPLM-IO, SAWA, other parties, and former detainees. In decree seen by the Radio Tamazuch and other media, President Salva Kiir Mayadit removed Joseph Malual Dong and Kwong Dakwi and Sandra Bona Malual and Wie Kun Kuyang and Stephen Boley and Asen Zaid Kininga. Well, other removed include Zainabi or whatever, Kemis Lorumu, Gatkot Wadjor, Pech Nyawele Bur, Zandia Julie Madit, and Jambel Mani Jambel. All of the dismissed members of the parliament are members of the SPLM-IO faction, loyal to the 10, first by President Dr. Machar, who is facing treason charge in a special court in Juba, which is also a kangaroo court according to the information. Malwal is the SPLM-IO focal person in Juba and a member of the party political bureau. In another decree, Salva Kiir Mayadit appointed new members to the assembly representing the SPLM-IO interim leadership led by Peace Building Minister Stephen Parkwall that faction broke away from the SPLM-IO in April 2025, following the detention of party leader Dr. Riek Machar. The appointed 11 members include Elizabeth Kanyang Andrew, another person, Nuer Diang, Bomtai Galwak, Zakaria Ater Joseph, and Santino Riek Maker. Others include Makwai Ten Yok and Charles Wiyual Yo, among other members of parliament. President Salva Kiir Cam recognized the interim SPLM-IO faction are the legitimate representative of the party within the government, arguing that the move is necessary to advance implementation of the 2018 peace agreement and prepare for election scheduled for December 2026. Analysts say the charge in the assembly appear aimed at removing Dr. Riek Machar loyalists from the legislative body, a move they say could deepen internal division between the camp of Salva Kiir Mayardit and that of first Vice President Dr. Riek Machar. Edmund Yakani, a civil society leader and political observer, also talked to Radio Tamazuch, and he said that replacing Dr. Riek Machar loyalists in parliament with loyalists of Peace Minister Stephen Parkour poses a troubling political trend ahead of South Sudan election. According to Yakani, the development raised the risk of return to full-scale war. Evidently, the absolute split among members of the SPLM-IO into loyalists of Dr. Riek Machar and Stephen Parkour, coupled with the renewed military clash in some areas between SSPDF and SPLM-IO, is dangerous, he said. Yakane said the situation is most likely to spiral out of control in the coming period without urgent intervention from the Intergovernmental Authority on Development, IGAD, and the African Union to rescue the 2018 peace agreement. In a separate statement dated January 12, the SPLM-IO Political Bureau, loyal to Dr. Machar and Juba, say the unilateral removal of its cabinet minister last week and 11 of its members from the Transitional National Legislative Assembly violated the 2018 peace agreement. The group said it believed the removal are part of a broader effort by President Salva Kiir Mayardit to purge the opposition SPLM-IO from the power structures. The statement was signed by Joseph Malualdong, the SPLM-IO chairperson for Foreign Affairs and the local person for its political bureau. Last month, the presidency and cabinet approved amendment to key provision of the 2018 peace agreement, delinking the December 2026 general election from the permanent constitution, making process a national census and other institutional reform. The amendment also included the removal of provision stating that the 2018 peace agreement takes precedence over the constitution. The 2018 peace deal signed by President Kiir Mayardit and first by President Dr. Machar and other political leaders has faced repeated delay, including missed election timeline. Election have been postponed several times, or we can say several times it has been postponed and are now scheduled for December 2026, despite objection from Dr. Machar loyalists who say presidency-led consultation excluded them. So as we all know that this issue of national election, which they said it will take place this year in this December 2026, most people are saying that this will not happen. The reason was without first Vice President Dr. Machar participation in this peace process, the election will not happen. But it will only bring tension between the SSPDF and SPLM-IO. Though President Salva Kiir Mayardit is trying so hard that he could sideline Dr. Machar, it will not happen. The worst part is this: the African Union and IGAD and international community are still not speaking out, and they are seeing that the country is going back to civil war. Unless if they do something about that, South Sudan in the coming near future, according to analysis, will fall into a deep trouble where it will be very hard to be to maybe for peace to prevail within the country, because now many people are saying that if Kir is not being provoked, as is already doing what he like without the consent of the other political members of political party, many people are saying that South Sudan is not in the right direction, and this will lead South Sudan to fall into trap again. Jowling Koname, Jowan Charlotte, Mede Conling, Atadan and Dong, Tuquin, Quarika Jack and Atadan, and she self became a yadit, Jeredial, Goro Bega control, including national election, Tidiality, let Kim Yadi, the Koshe Goro, take Ramimo, maybe big compete, Kajeshermangai Kondi Alano, Kir. Shereng Machar Chajayan, Kasha Goro de Dr. Machar, there participate cutting Konalat Karodian. That's why you guys are seeing all these things, all this mess that are happening right now. So Mede Conway make here Misha Dr. Machar Chajaba allow no then be quine key campaign right now. Nine general South Sudan is in trouble. So Chirmadangai corner without Dr. Machar, things she can be gua, she could drop down a corner, and around Gorjan de Kir Yadi there talk there, but Kir is not willing to do that. Jen may take a Kir and Tama Jin Shu which you and Angreka, but right now I'm right con Tamachanacha on a Wojaka. Canada Woja right now, Mikon Conca, Canadian con tin la yes Philaio Corodian. Yes Philaio Canada Conqua removed, Canada Con Waker. Miguiana, there are cool Canada, Shukumas Philaio, she can go no big Carodian gang. So Kumes Philaio Kajan Time, Germanian and right now they are ready more than ever. Ko be Korean gang, we can Jaga Chala, the Kirmi Yadi, Micha Goro de la Lede, a Gorkan be can watch, a keep can a caption, so I may a miller order. A Meridian Guazamanchi, self Kim Yadi, the Yok Millade, she made on the Ongayana. Temji Kim Yadi, the Lad Guasaman. South Sudan President Salva Kiir Mayardit on Monday ordered the formation of high-level technical committee to operationalize the South Sudan official gazette and enhance the official website of the Office of the President. According to an order announced on the state-owned South Sudan Broadcast Corporation, the move aimed to establish a secure, transparent, and sustainable national system for publishing official state documents through the operationalization of the Gazette and the upgrade of the presidential website. Under the presidential directive, the committee will be chaired by the Secretary General of the Government of the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, serving as a deputy chairperson. Other members include senior officials from the Ministry of Information, Communication Technology, and Postal Service, the National Communication Authority, and the Office of the President. The committee core mandate is to operationalize both the physical and electronic version of the official gazette, including establishing a secure end-to-end workflow that integrates encrypted digital verification to prevent manipulation or forgery of government documents. The system will be used to publish the Constitution and its amendment, Act of Parliament, Presidential Decree, Provisional Order, Ministerial Regulation, Government Notice, and other legal instruments. As part of the initiative, the committee will redesign and enhance the official presidential website to serve as the primary source of the electronic gazette or e-gazette, providing the public with secure, read-only access to official state documents. The directive also instructs the committee to address a long-standing publication backlog by identifying, categorizing, and preparing for gazetting all critical laws, Republican decrees, and resolutions enacted since 2011 that require immediate publication to ensure legal certainty. The committee has been granted authority to co-opt technical expert, legal draft person, and security consultant as necessary. All government institutions have been directed to fully cooperate and provide original document upon request. President Salva Kiir Mayardit has given the committee 14 days to complete its technical assessment, working flow design, and resource allocation plan. Upon completion, the committee is required to submit a final operational report along with the maiden edition, volume 1 of the South Sudan official Gazette. Following the submission, the president will formally launch the physical Gazette, the e-Gazette portal, and the enhanced presidential website, marking the commencement of South Sudan new official national notification protocol. The move follow protocol introduced last week by the Office of the President, limiting on-air announcement on government broadcast SSBC to the appointment of removal of governors, national minister, deputy minister, and vice president. Under the new directive, all documents bearing the president's signature are classified as privileged executive communication and cannot be photographed, scanned, or shared online. President shall decree infecting change must now be delivered confidentially to the relevant authority such as parliament, speaker, minister, or governor for internal execution, with the office of the president barred from serving document directly to appointees. Kajolin kon magwasme kirma yadi jen take committee ya kwany ala jen lep website bakule let kai office kade men message me very important me change ka joga change chana me chala da kire konen selbe kirma yadi gwase change chala do ne ajeni shebile ben ka live ka SSBC be decree ba bilati lo bana ba ka boj ajeni chana che ka boj chirime dana chikonling chana che logo no bagala boje lo ben ka SSBC but men chelele ta right now ka jen this new development fight to the kirma yadi che committee che ka kwany kan committee to bikan website de me bukula let me dong te ramwo je ba je kula publishing che ka kwany kaneda to kaneda content bikan tin diala balat ka jen website mo all the information yung constitution everything den kon lat corodian wa ba kala tin gwasme all the original document ba kala ka jen website mo ne ba je potak ko charge bi yarke charge bi ger ana ko ngai kon online take akar ngwan de lang wala kan mala wuch so akiri ba all the document ba kala tin kano mete garamo woike ba je las ka jen website mo kan charge bi copy telam ba copy ka all the information kan any do mo charge publish ba nga je gwa the money wo chara me charge wo right now and right me be ka kor ka jen ta me che announcement che jalat ko kon dial me dan che lat den kir no jen cha vice president cha boy SSBC cha eneramimo la kuer mo wo ke cha je bu je ba je lo lat ke television ngu cha jo ke cha kamrar jen na mo jen do badanan kwa website kwa lep ko je ko en lat ke leo ba je ko le yala ke jen website mo so website mo che so che chole e gazette I don't know what it mean but tikala do jen website dan ba de yal ba ka publishing constitution kana all the amendment act of parliament en lat ke parliament ba je la dan gwa mo che jo mo che la dan kirme yadit jen ta dana she larga jeno she technical committee che ka kwany te ba South Sudan official gazette ba je lepke South Sudan website me ba de ba gala gatin karwa indi al kon lat kuru ne we South Sudan especially nyin ka en queer point kirmi yadit so che odor mo che jetup no me ba la let che ne to che mo ke ninde to long che mo ke 14 days karu nin dangwel ngwan te ba website mo ba je lat of course te ga long lat website ka ko they can hire anybody me the website they jalat but men ngai kelun ko right now melat ke website go to maintenance one but of course there are experts to be a lot shede janya longa kan yin kan kala wal ko ni country la take website te bangwan ba latin te ba ngok ba we jekaten but documentation ngoda beja kan ite wan mi chikana to kono mbache jek ko enme me dan ti kono ngaje no let's say me chala no to ba shinna chikan bile la be ka online ka SSBC ba ne to woga ba blat ana shwagu jeno dong te ga mi kirmi yadit balat ke pin jerman chanen barata me chewe ko ba we ala ka nga ka website de mandanan chikana yal ka gwasme so jenta dan len ngaro din ka right now ka kirmi yadit so de yina me de yina lenga nono gwasme ngai kono lat korodian enemy lero de morawi ka South Sudan chimana to ngai kon manana to gwatmen another report mishalat doro shalga me to read re wika South Sudan shika take middo dien michikana left so and Michigan lebo ben ywa kel gwada mekos guri bialing. To read commissioner take me to propose. What ga mi kana goren to read a to read a jana a jane ba nang na ba je tok re wedian. To read commissioner propose firing a squad to curb killing in Yala. To read commissioner jane ba nang nen kona na ba ga tok lo mi chai kep kiran chi na ba idil nak. So again bukon lingwas me ngai kona na mene be jamat liangda. But chana jamin guj ba. Be chukwen ye ko bialing. Turin County Commissioner Christopher Andrew has proposed using a fire squad as a distrusting measure to address ongoing killing and insecurity in Yala Payam, Eastern Equatorial State. The proposal came during a committee gathering for the Otuo people in Turin town on Saturday. Andrew expressed frustration over villagers harboring criminals. Can like it jani can you like can sure like can carto gen commissioner right now message the gwaza me link on me e jani sure la ka to ga je dawo so mi sure chana ta ko nak ba ba to ji which jani ku je mo ko la kamin la kan ka to don jen ko je le propose no ba na ba kan me ram chi mi je che la ka cha do ka ba je dil nak nyam nat. Well, late last month, Governor Los Lobong ordered a ceasefire in Yala Payam, but the order has been repeatedly violated. Residents said unidentified gunmen shot and injured a man in the village of Aforere, while another resident disappeared under mysterious circumstance on the same day. Andrew praised local intellectual documenting atrocities and promoting accountability. There is much work to be done, he said, or in Yala. He said, while many blame the government for the violence, it is a collective responsibility to ensure the safety of our people. He added that a public execution could serve as a different, but say Human Rights Convention prevents such action. Anyone committing heinous act will be apprehended and brought to justice. He said even if families of perpetrators seek forgiveness, the government would still impose an 8-year prison term. Human rights groups have repeatedly condemned harsh punishment, including execution, citing risk of wrongful conviction and violation of international law. Addressing Utuo intellectual living in Juba and abroad, the commissioner urged them to support peace effort. This conflict is fueled by individuals detached from the realities faced by those in Iyala. He said, if you are a leader but fail to support your community, you are a pretender. Margaret Edouard Okoye, Eastern Equatorial Minister of Culture, Youth and Sport, called on communities to reject support for criminal activities and cooperate with authorities. Speaking in her native Utuo language, she said, continued support for criminal only perpetuates violence and hinder development. Every time there is a killing, the people of Iyala mourn, yet no arrests follow. She added that when someone is apprehended, there are constant demand for their release. This cycle contribute to suffering and violence. You must hold yourself accountable rather than blaming the government. She urged residents to report crime. Imagine the tragedy of killing women and children. What can you possibly gain from this? Too often, a gun is treated as though it fires independently while the perpetrator remains concealed, she said. Turin Mayor and SPLM County Chairperson Oyito Batis Sophoronio pledged to launch operation to tackle crime in Yala Payam. He said justice mechanism will be established to address raid, revenge killing, looting, and ambush. There will be a significant movement in Yala Payam. He said we are committed to extinguish the flame so that both the commissioner and to extinguish the flame of violence. We need your cooperation to restore peace so that both the commissioner and I can effectively perform our duties, she said that. Yala Payam has long been affected by inter-communal violence, including revenge killing, raid, and army attack. Despite repeated government ceasefire order, insecurity persists with local authorities struggling to enforce law and order. Residents and local officials say the violence is fueled by dispute over land, cattle, and local leadership, and it has indirect social and economic development in the area. Commissioner with the Wajamani, Jen can be can firing is squad become a lot. Firing is squad. Allow me which a tiang a criminal kin a lot get jack and what they do but me charge cap charge be pelika Jonathan me I cap by jinak jen dara like an all the time wherever me cha kevin go by the punish and okay do down a chalat but tongue me can Dorian chancharan charanak no la well and community no alwin I think it relate to us though. Kone chal Nuer changa criminal michi jakela la talk and then la ja palgu ba protect ni je man ki balaro jen alwin keje atel melate keje and all that kaje no cherik chejela. Then after that what will follow revenge but talk be meant la chal ke no chol ki shoot no bram mo baraden ba yir ba lo but ko shram mi che mi jek chejelat kaje no kana konmat ajala larga no ne. We should consider that me chiriek to whoever she committed go ba the community ka ba kef me a dur but ngai ko ti ga dur ti lat ke accidental ke dur lat ke knowing ngai jen go le dur mo okay kan dur la ka identified but right now do mo mishali yala mo ke ikotoria bana ngaje no de kume spele ayo jaten kume SSPDF jaten so can it right in time right now to kwal ninkela pai kwen yemene ne de ti KG SSPDF te kel kene kirm yadit and these are the people that do take ne de tawka so ne la kan yan yinka ka then from there bukana o chaka no ne ti ka jidwar jenta da de tin no lo chak kille ne jen ka ko shel goro de ne ro de ka malba so they are using this tactic so ne ti mi raro gam kana la bukan community jo no yene nguna geru dun ka ro dun no ka these are the people that kon lar ka je bu na mo ka ngak waran waje nyot baran bawnek so no money too much che chong so it relate ke siang da do content kon were mi konta da len ngaro din geje de kon guje no chat kan gatin kon lat ko din so men la very important thing was me wode kan ka dor jal theory dan commissioner jen de firing squad de lat so in case mi ranak de je dil nak jiran ci mo ko bot baye mo ko bot so dio jalalat ken wal dio je dor were kwarn were ko la generally kala la lat ke jem so maybe me solution kan de ko lat ke je okay there go but most of the time me la ko na gwi de ko na gwi no tanat riek mi chalat rammo ka chaje be consider ba je gor ke ba je ka ba palwe cherman chane no la ram ya support she mane me I support she more and then and when more tina bla dir changlel na le ten when mo gor ke ji no bi she mo ne to bikano gang ne jara momone no mo da kulte chiri kikan bede but mela ne dial kan let kel collectively la ram me mi che dur chelat badil kabne ideal mane ko la shi mane ba nyom me jega dana chelat dera gwa no mo dera la listen but not when gang ka ji chimi jeglat ba gang she more lo gor je no cha de chang ngani go dan titin cha de chang ngani men jega dan chiladi mi jeg den ba gor je no ba ji gang so no mo dera kulu gwa din so ram ji mi jeglat de jo no mi ngak chimi jeg chelat ban mi ram ter shon balaro ngungu tlad len shonda ko chong yaten mi de ni benda ba ye ben nak ke ya dun ke dwaye ma din wona ni ro gang so cha ide bi cholo jin criminal cha de to so ko kujamo na me amle roda na me amtuok gwaza me to kon ke another information me banyo kamo nywa ga yekel adoro shwal ke me juba wat ci juba ko tene dang diok chakalon tela ngwane ki use ramshala wudeng te ga jom chalat for defamation ejenisha dio je charwaja jek so be kweni boko to ngali ka jowrani kan gorga je dan banyo kweni tungna I called in Juba has ordered the release of 3 youth leaders from Warab State and ended a long-running defamation case filed by former Minister of General Education Wood Deng Ashwil. The 3 men, Mashek Dong Green, Marcelo Deng Magon, and Ting Jok Ruben Dal, had been faced charged under the South Sudan Penal Code after being accused of damaging the former minister's reputation. A lower court in Juba had earlier refused to throw out the case in August 2025. Well, however, after these men challenged the decision in court, the High Court reviewed the case and said or delivered its final ruling on Thursday this year, 2025. Speaking after the ruling, the lawyer Ker Choldeng said the High Court found that the three men did nothing wrong and committed no crime. The judge explained that their statements were protected by the constitutional right to freedom of expression as guaranteed under South Sudan transitional constitution. The court added that expressing opinion or criticism does not amount to crime under the law. The case began in 2022 when former Minister Awud Deng accused members of the Luan Jiang youth community of defaming her after they publicly criticized the education authorities. The dispute traced back to 2021 when Luan Jiang youth representative brought to President Salva Kiir Mayardit, claiming the minister had intentionally stopped primary aid people in part of Tony East County from sitting for their final exam, citing security reasons. In its decision, the High Court said there was no damage in this. There was no damage to the former minister's reputation or to the Minister of Education. The court noted that the criticism focused on her official action as a public office holder, not on her personal life. As a result, the High Court overturned the earlier ruling and ordered the immediate release of the three men unless they are being held for other reason. All 11 authorities have been informed. The ruling was delivered by Justice Peter Mazen Chol according to reliable source. Right now, Jolin Kona me ken when dang doctor cha yi and doro chalga me warab set ken when jane. When jane ken chicken query ken lat jor chan jamiling be do badan lat ken jor ke jan. Lal I call into the Juba, a chick order chicken to Bano, ken when dang dogoti ka waike. When dang dogoti wa chicken queer warab state, ken boka ke you warab state bunny. Ken watch can query can lad jor, Michelle defamation, which right a jerk sure radian, and on a killer ramo lad jor. Jen Washika former minister, dung general education, Shikichala wood dang ashil, why can lad jor can wendang jok return. Ramkel Chalama Diak Dongrin, Ramradian Char Marcelo Deng Magon, Karamradian Michelle Ting Jok Rubendal. Kennedy Kennedy Chayen, Ken Chaga Chajane. Under South Sudan Penal Court, Guade Chaga Guanyano, Kenichi can form minister reputation, you can a Yarke Chika Chang Yam Jaga Jack and honor. Chilower court, the Riki Juba, she can look on and we can case more, we can Wojane Kajan Piper the Gadan. But right now, Kaman Chala, why she can find and chicken court, chicken a challenge can Gardang Diok. The decision done a chalat. She could work a high court it. So she high court chicken do you can yokamu can review, tie it and shall look child like a may look like a kick a loom talk. So much I look at it shall with a shall find a ruling charge at Kachenko one joke. So a quarter may she go right she ram down a lawyer in which shall a Kershol dang. Jelado and shy court chicken jigano can they dang doctority what they did not done anything wrong. Tell me Jim chicken a lot. Shanga kill. Okay, tereng mujikana committed. You know. Chija chala do ne ramdan la look chala do ne. Kan when it ganga ke constitutional right. Michal freedom of expression. Mila de charu kame jega dan le ramamo ko jenti office. By the way, ramatu office mila de jor awa emas de la jor mijen. Misha mo gwa chelet. Misha mandana tegaje let's say the chala dan and tegaje office teje lunkalene. What is less midela donne. Aje no de lele de la jor e kene to de je criticize kamanda na chelet men chelwang ka je no je ne kwar so e kene la do de ci ay ko ci la do ne na aje ne de ti ber mu ci kana lat ka kuje mo sha ka goro ba kan dial ba kalun ala keze me tok je ne ka jen ron kinara wid jandang ro widaro no gwade former minister Awud Deng me charge gwan ne ko na chala Luan Jiang community an wojen take ne teacher palo chicken dul gore kan gur special guard teacher logo no de ka nyur ka nyur hono mala na nyur ka class ka je chuji chu community kan chu kre sai ki kan lat jor ki kan ji education authority kan lat jor no chicken logo no bi Luan Jiang community ke Luan Jiang use bi ka nyur an gwada mo chu ka jen 2021 mo chu Luan Jiang community chu kan Kiir Mayardit you can a gwar message no chu kala do ne kan minister she le ngeje and wo chi primary 8 chicken binyur ka part of Tonyes County. Choga peno bika final exam kana nyur ika qui security ka reason. But the one me she talk. Akana decision me decision she charge and gwad mo dan chukan kajamo you kan chular chukala don't know ba decision me ba jo la ka court. So from there, Michigari can check Michigana can decide, then he shake a match, case you file, a guy shake again. So make a ruling child at Kenyam, then Yagacha could do a dwarf charge and Micha considering charge of good gentlemen, charge you no got free. No freedom of expression, Jatin, anybody. They manana jagalat karam model, chow, you can check a man on a gin, shy quenergy personality. Ya quenergy, she personal Nadena when he come in a cap. So gin, what he call fistic a lot. Me tele jila dio je taram di jogo di chene kon diala kon lat kangwan me jiram mo tele ju kom taram de uju lat jor so la di jor ko jenti ka position and position do jen jag ko ba ji di lat jor ka jamon so chaji go no gade ka free ni so chaji me chaji lat ante mangan gade cha all the authorities concerned people tingu jo dong ci gade dori kan la cha ka inform no chwa ne ti chwa nyom ka bien ka unless te ko dori no den mi kan la jen bu ko lu ko kodo de me jo me chala de ken so me de kon dial te ka lwangde kamanani shore lat gwazame chikondi altekenga chenwo Dr. Rieng Macha tenjen rami momi sha look de sha je look cher mangai kone re wich kejuba ngai konte diala kone shalat gwasama bana manana chalat gwaza bana link kui Dr. Machar baje lat ka talk English and then ba nyogo mo lat ka talk nat yoka kora here in South Sudan, the special court trial involving suspended first Vice President Dr. Machar and 7 co-accused will now be held in camera, excluding the public and the media to protect prosecution witness. The ruling follows an application filed by the prosecution on November 10, 2025, seeking protection for vulnerable witnesses who reportedly face intimidation and threat linked to the high-profile nature of the case. According to the report, when the 37th session opened on Monday, January 12, 2026, both the prosecution and defense confirmed their attendances. The defense also confirmed the presence of all the accused persons, with the exception of accused number 6, who was absent on illegal ground. It is in its application, the prosecution informed the court that the son of the one witness had been stabbed and another person assaulted at the Kakuma refugee camp in Kenya. It further revealed that a social media blog had published the name of the witnesses, exposing them to threat from unknown sources and creating an atmosphere of fear that undermined the court's work. To support its claim, the prosecution submitted electronic recording, including phone conversation in the Nuer language. The state section 181 of the Criminal Procedure Act and provision of the UN Convention of Transitional Organized Crime, which are incorporated into South Sudanese law, praying that hearing be conducted in private and that witness referred to by pseudonymy. The defense opposed the application, arguing that it lacked sufficient evidence and infringed on the right of the accused to a fair and open trial. Defense lawyer maintained that voice distortion and witness anonymity could deny the accused the opportunity to properly identify and respond to testimony. They further blamed the prosecution for failing to safeguard the witness list that eventually leaked onto social media. However, both sides reached an agreement regarding the appointment of court interpreters. In its ruling, the three-judge panel noted that while Article 19(3) of the Transitional Constitution and Section 181 of the Criminal Procedure Act guarantee the principle of open justice, the prosecution had presented reasonable ground to warrant special measures. The court subsequently admitted the publication for witness protection order that proceeding be held in camera and strictly directed that no name or identities of witnesses be published to safeguard them and their families. Following the ruling, presiding Judge Ms. Alala ordered members of the public and media personnel to vacate the courtroom immediately The order was complied with. Judge Alela stated that witness will now testify only in the presence of the prosecution, the defense team, and the accused person. Dr. Machar, who has been under house arrest detention since March 2025, faced charges. The charges stem from March 2025 on the South Sudan People Defense Force, garrison in Nasser County, Upper State. Prosecutor alleged that the attack carried out by the Nuer Army, an element of the SPLM-IO, that killed 257 soldiers, including the garrison commander, Major General David Majur, and destroyed military property. Dr. Riek Machar denies all charges. But in retaliation, President Salva Kiir Mayardit used Uganda People Defense Force gunship by ordering the killing and by ordering the Nuer civilian in Nasser should be bombed. In that retaliation, Kiir has poured incendiary chemical on innocent civilian, both elders and women, children, and everyone in Nasser. During that incident, a mass number of people were killed, including children, by Kiir. But with this special court hearing, no one or yet nobody's even talking about the civilian that were targeted, innocent people that were killed by SSPDF in March 2025. The court did not indicate how long the closed door session would last. Public hearings are expected to resume once the protected witnesses have concluded their testimony. Gwazame mlinkoneme Madana Shalat Shiramangai Kone, and Dr. Machar, Rewish Kajuba, Shikan Narmanan ala Lukshanyo Mutokaja. Man Shalke special court, Kashwale Kangaro court at the same time. Ko Cherami look, Mishari Alaka organize a kid already. First by President Kanane Dangbaro to call a Jikwara, Chago Guanchiramangai Kone. Kajo Chalat Kajan Shankawaro Kapaikel. Chajo Guano Nene. Nathan Kondila witness ni chalaro kan ba ka gang shagabinyot ka ture. Gwazame menchituok redul kana mo kire lok. Shane dial chaga jogono yen bia jen. Jimmy dia mene dial content wenamo. Kine dial kondila nen. Nela nete kon she look she can attend. Chaga all of you should leave the courtroom. Nete budwat buka kene titi ke witness nete. Kan prosecution team kan defense lawyer team kan content chagwan ala Dr. Machar kan jukwara. So from there in ideal chigian chinadot kajen luka jendang joku baro din Ramadan and neta kondela witness ni chiga right no chigala de wona kanete kan ka guardian would kill watch right jena gade charge yat ka dor shalke ka kuma kem ka kinya charge yat neten kon tin kwa Dr. Machar kwa support ka joran kalat gwasame chigala do na me rekel anyok chigala do na sha shoot ken cha publish ka media and take a blog ma cha publish tin alo ngai ka shoot ken eren kon tin la witness ni tin lat kenen kashkadian ka Dr. Machar cha ko jogo no na kan de konti la prosecution team kan de tite la ke witness ni tin ngum kan ka gang ka din ka gang ko sha ku fezen cha ga den right now ngai ke ne dial but cha ko la kan de konti la jilo no en rami mo mo shur ken wo lat ken ba jesu ke ba de ke ko joran kala je gwasme ko ci jen gudu me ci roje no cha gaden ke ram ke le cha je step ke cha je mu ka bot ke cha je yet ka kuma ro ji kem ke kinya so ci kan jo mo ci kan la no kan wo ci kala no te ke media and shur ken ci ka publish already online so ne me amle rode right now so ka jo dan ci kala gwasme ka ta dan len ngwaru den ke je kanite kan ke evident ni tinyo den wo ne tite cha ka gurka ke so chigan la no take recon kan ga to ya kam kume ti akam jillo kono ba galeng ano kan gurka ke la to ken indian anyong ne ti kan gurka ne ba to ba je translate la to nuare ba kula translate ke ko kan donc we can talk English ke Arabic and then mo cha gu kan ba ko mo ka translator ne to be ro can be ka translate ba kula link ka code so ne me amela rode en kuro mo chire men ngai kona kure dan chitu ko pa diok sherwal mi diche non kam kum SPLIO kana kum SSPDF gwade dan SSPDF chi nyen kan wer wayami to ada kama char cha chu yen ka kwi mi shir no mo gwade dan e shi ko che tokten shi kan lad no shi de ni cho ku dang ro jandang di baro shi ke liu ka ka kora chu kir mi yadit chu ne re konti la gat ka men ka dong ane ba de miten gwade mo chu kan Uganda chu kan use chu kan na gan bom ke chemical en je ga danan wang poinat chu men te makatin gan gat ko na bo na ka liya bone ka jen chemical mo ko chemical mo mi je ga long ma cha je wang ga je la point du la ja wang ka jen be ji yar so ne me mi le rode mi de kon dial te ka liang dakre ma char ka jo dan lat je ga je telele dur chirmana na ngai kona but kwiko kwalan delay men ko jen chebu we kaman chwal ke national election jen to bodana let kin mi yadi da na me da la jen mandana gorno de nyaga yakel ke kwitin kon lat karodien dakre ma char be brar chirma ngai kon dial she kene she brar no
Kumadami wewe tela rambu chuti tela ganmi bichuti tela meti bilonti kumadami wewe tela rambu chuti tela ganmi bichuti tela meti bilonti kumadami wewe tela rambu chuti tela ganmi bichuti tela meti bilonti salama de long salama de gwa masala no morong changa baku tele rambi chui we da bagwa tele rambi do changa ramte re da kamol be wanira bloy da bete baga donato bo we jal kel kumada mi we tele rambi chui tele gan mi bichuti tele meti bilonti kumada mi we tele rambi chui tele gan mi bichuti tela meti bilonti kumada mi wewe tela rambu chuti tela ganmi bichuti tela meti bilonti mana tin bum tin chet ka ha jen chalo jen boy gadar nakken Nuer e pui loken tek ken nyu chara bika wow we balat dul wal dul gora ba chuta mana tin bum bika we gang tell rambe kwal tell chimba ba kapin tell reme ba was pink areda manatin boom bika we gang kami de we bika drunkel ba we gwi kami den kumada mi we tell rambe chuti tell kami bichuti tell meti bilonti kumada mi we tell rambe chuti tela ganmi bichuti tela meti bilonti kumada mi wewe tela rambu chuti tela ganmi bichuti tela meti bilonti waza beniji kakak bakapur betin nyam o baret batia bapis kumada bakangno engineer kon doctor kon teacher kon we gwandan bana let kill tele rami ba banjo tele rami bi dojo banatinyam kondial banatinyam weida kondial ban chulet kill kumada mi wewe tele rami chuti tele ganmi bichuti tele meti bilonti kumada mi wewe tele rami chuti tele ganmi bichuti tele meti bilonti kumada mi wewe tela rambu chuti tela ganmi bichuti tela meti bilonti burene kon nyalan chengo tela rambi ba ma ke chonde tela rambi ba ma ke chonde tela rambi nyurba burene kon nyalan chengo
tukon kanada report me bana linka jan report me bana madale roda gwas me bana jelinkel ka jawo dana inshallah te ka report me sha to me benwa ka yake right now ka report me we ka kodana chitok no dora shal ka modung shuk so right now report me inshallah ka sha non kon me bialinga gwa chala no SPLA IO sector 4 kana 5 ala SPLA sector 4 sector 5 infantry division meant pin acting commander of brigadier general Nyal Gatcha Will wajen chicken SSPD basement ray which kada jo payam ko lung shukanti chicken kep chala no wale ke taro metiki chermda la tiang ala 2:45 p.m. local time. SPLIO 5 Infantry Division Brigadier 2 Commander 2 commanded by Brigadier General Kwang Dengang wa she can attack she can coordinated kabis SSPD mentega dajo payam kolungshu county chalado nene she freedom fighter she can base SSPD military barrack she can cap na me kwane dial kwagale jo gwasme very important report don bi aling bokaler dial ko kienten kona balat ano nene en walle cha jojo gwano nene SPLA IO chicken got to ikene kep ko lungshu batte ko dor me cha ko to mo kala goro nywa yekel order me men cha top me bi alinge order me cha kamne dial rami mo meten wana mo ka lungshu den ke report an cha no gwasme shala do nene SPLA IO kaside mo menti civilian tekin kana NGO chaga jugno de yen evacuate immediately kagwete kone chala no de na de kan evacuating wa Lungashu County town de kit center wa de na within the civilian kan NGOs de ka which Mayut County town kan center wa de na de ka which Pagak Payam town center kana pintor payam ton wa de NGO de ka which de true payam ton bo ke joko payam wa gwaziti kan dial gorga jeno immediately they can evacuate kan it kon la civilian when kan it kon tin humanitarian organization ten wanamo chajo mo chaje laden ona ko order de na chanyo mutup ka cha order chanyo tumno Nasser County town eno when kubure biai ulang County town center Maban County town center Paloy town center when ka got the ala county location jala de one immediately ne county la civilian away Canadian county la humanitarian organization gorga jeno they can Rodian watch no anyok chaji SPLA IO tidial konen gwenken dial especially konen kwa order kwa ile tub take letter michi kana tub chikana kamji SSPD you can SSPD no nene michi akor shaja gor you guys SSPD kakan all these places ajeno wa anavor any military requirement to the SPLA IO without more bloodshed wa tobe kwa kudial misharik ki shia kor shia go misha goro beriem balon en mutaka ye mon tobeje cha warga me shaja gor kuma SPLA IO gor kana SSPD Lampol Gabriel shaw dormo chaje top sherman na ngai konen wo which te shunka Chowder Shaitubuno Shaguru no Betekaran SSPD Amaten Wanamo and all the area should be evacuated. Kajodan Shaladaken. Kuma SPLIO Raikan Alo Canadian Shirodian Releka Kicharan organized. Right now, so many Amalat Kenen. And Ramo Mila civilian Katega Canadian and Conachala Guasame native content la humanitarian kill luak cha jogono de run watch Guasadan anti deni SSPD of Tegaten de guano de yeno guadana do dien mandana don de guahia. So right now may report Michigan a lot. So let's look at that this way, okay? Akume SPLIO nigga Guasadan major call major talk cham do not search an apple major talk kalo Nuer ki munwal Guasadan me sha gujano sha chilo Nuer community no chika tia ki chi we ko kuma kirmi yadit no ko ne wan ji social media lat ke jen wo shi micha kwalo Nuer chile we a chika le we ku kirmi yadit ka chi we Nuer cha jak but chi jelode alalo Nuer community la bit ke la ken mandana la kanam kona linkpin then yo michik doru tok burin wo je wut ke dial burin wulgan ya chang ram ton budotin so jen ta dan le rode so wodien karodian jen shanen tama wicce te chunga kelu and then cha wat cha kef anono ka kan chiga yuai gana kebo wona ka pajut wona ka wid koken wona ga gadyang ne shit ka odore dan gan to kan wi ka nam ne ga 70 2 hour pan chi 45 hour chi ko tok 25 dio kan ngod so an wala today away run away ga molga ban ling num do dien shit ka korki dong ba tike shilling te butu ok jerman ngai kono order mi atu ba kwar la real ka rodi ne ka kama nyam kana konto ba kana target ka le target civilian no we are not targeting civilian ga yorani kelat kana kon ku ne base kada ne kontin la dinye dini asas pdf gwada kon tiket la base ni ken jan gwada tiket ken du ne mishale military operation kata da lat ken ja of course ne de wan de tina asen civilian ba kula gangade ajena wodor shi akul lin shala da palma de ngano en ramten wena mo right now or wo the same order chanya utubentama ka lungushuk chatub ka maiwut chatub ka wi dialen kokien lungushuk maiwut pagak payam turu payam joko payam chatub ka Nasir County chanya utubo ka wulang chatub ka maban chatub ka palush all this location ka jana panal chawon chatub tinno evacuate civilian ka woje dini ka woje ni konda tela humanitarian na me Lampol Gabriel goromo ka information michelat ka social media ko bine dial bikana ngajano en warning machatop no ku jawlok ku ja the fight and wodo reme run bala jin karwado so taram bilebel so that is the reason why top can all the information ko de kaling so na many mila road right now ko de yana me de yana ngajino ngum mila road okay na me agenda na dong de nyaka yakel ka jan report men go tedial weekend a batch unless shaka kon kapchong kir cha order ya kon to no mala be mekan ja kon accept ya ngaje no korip to wan be kan wan long rewi ka South Sudan so na me da la jan da nan de nyaka yakel mi jira mi dir go asame ka Nuer online TV channel gorjan ojin there is subscribe ko der je support ko mete mi break da cho mala shuba kaji ko gwada dan en te chup kaje so na bana je kamra dien ya tiga ma
kuma da mi wewe tala rambu chuti tala gan mi chuti tala meti bulonti kuma da mi wewe tala rambu chuti tala gan mi chuti tala meti bulonti kuma da mi wewe tala rambu chuti tala gan mi chuti tala meti bulonti salama de long salama de gwa masala no morong changa baku tala rambu chuti we da bagwa tala rambu do changa ramte re da kamol be wanira buloy de betet baga donato bo we jal kel kuma da mi wewe tala rambu chuti tala gan mi chuti tala meti bulonti kuma da mi wewe tala rambu chuti tala gan mi chuti tala meti bulonti kuma da mi wewe tala rambu chuti tala gan mi chuti tala meti bulonti mana tin bum tin chet ka ha tin chalo jen boy gadar nakken Nuer e pui look and take the cane and you chara bika wow we balat dul wal dul gora ba chuta mana tin bum bika we gang tell rambe kwal tell chimba ba kapin tell reme ba was pink areda mana tin bum bika we gang kami de we bika twonkel ba we gwi kami den kuma da mi we tala rambu chuti tala gan mi chuti tala meti bulonti kuma da mi wewe tala rambu chuti tala gan mi chuti tala meti bulonti kuma da mi wewe tala rambu chuti tala gan mi chuti tala meti